Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff, wind whipping against your face. Clouds swirl like thoughts in your mind. You don't know which way to step. Life has a strange way of overwhelming us, drowning us in possibilities, paralyzing us with indecision, yet simplest truths often come from unexpected sources. Monks, quiet guardians of wisdom, have a formula, just 3 words, that can transform your day, your entire existence. These words are deceptively simple, yet within them lies the power to change everything. The formula is observe, accept, release. 3 words, 3 steps, 3 keys. 3 keys to unlocking a life of clarity, purpose, and inner peace. You might be thinking, how can 3 words do what years of self-help books and seminars struggle to achieve? The answer lies in how deeply they touch the human soul and align with the rhythm of life itself. First, to observe. The act of observation is not merely noticing what is around you. Observe your thoughts. Observe your emotions. Observe the moments you wish would disappear. Monks understand that most suffering is born not from life itself, but from our resistance to seeing it as it is. When anger rises like a storm in your chest, when fear clutches at your heart like icy fingers, you cannot calm it by pretending it does not exist. To observe is to hold up a mirror to your inner world and look without judgment. Imagine sitting by a quiet river, watching the water flow. You do not chase the ripples. You do not demand the water to pause, you simply watch. And in that watching, the chaos begins to untangle. This is observation. Observation brings clarity. Observation brings awareness. Observation is the first step toward freedom, but observing alone is not enough. Many people see their pain, their fears, their mistakes, yet they resist them. They struggle against the current, exhausting themselves, creating waves where there need not be any. This brings us to the second word, accept. Acceptance does not mean resignation or weakness. It does not mean giving up on growth or hope. Acceptance is the profound courage to acknowledge reality as it is, not as you wish it to be. Monks practice acceptance like a sculptor embracing the raw stone, seeing the potential within every imperfection. When life hands you betrayal, when circumstances seem unjust, when the dreams you nurtured crumble like autumn leaves, acceptance is the quiet power that steadies your heart. Imagine the sky after a storm. The clouds do not fight the wind. They do not resist the rain. They simply exist, and in their existence they transform, allowing the sun to shine through. Acceptance is like that sky. When you accept what is, you stop draining your energy fighting the inevitable, and you can finally focus on what matters. Acceptance turns resistance into insight, pain into wisdom, and fear into understanding. Yet, there is a final, equally essential step: release. Release is where transformation occurs. To release is to let go of what no longer serves you, to unclench your fists from grudges, regrets, and unnecessary burdens. It is the act of freeing yourself from invisible chains. Monks often speak of life as a journey, on a narrow path through a dense forest. To walk forward, you cannot carry every fallen branch or stone. You must learn to place them down, to step lightly, to move with grace. Release does not mean forgetting, but it means no longer letting the past or unhelpful emotions dictate your present. Imagine holding a handful of sand. The tighter you squeeze, the more it slips through your fingers. Only when you open your hand, only when you allow it to fall naturally, can you feel the freedom of emptiness, which paradoxically becomes fullness. Observing, accepting, and releasing form a circle of wisdom. When practiced consistently, they allow you to face life without fear, to meet challenges without despair, and to embrace each moment with authenticity. But let us dive deeper, because these words are not magic spells. Their power emerges in practice, in patience, in repetition. Observation requires mindfulness. Acceptance requires courage. Release requires trust. Start with observation. Notice how your thoughts chatter like restless birds, how your emotions flare like sudden sparks in the dark. When a negative thought arises, pause and name it. There is anger, or here is anxiety. Naming it gives you a tiny, yet powerful space between yourself and the emotion. In that space, the seed of acceptance can grow. Acceptance is often the hardest step. It requires you to face yourself without flinching, to look at your life without wishing it were different, and yet without losing the desire to improve. It is the paradox of being fully present with what is. while nurturing the vision of what could be. You might notice resistance arise. I cannot accept this. This is wrong. That resistance is natural. But in the monk's practice, resistance is simply another wave to observe and release. And then comes release. Release is a conscious decision. It is the choice to unclench, to breathe, to let go. Release might manifest as forgiving someone who hurt you, letting go of a failed project, or finally stopping self-criticism. That has echoed for years. Release is the bridge from suffering to peace, from chaos to clarity. You may wonder, why 3 words? Why not 10 or 50 or 100? Because simplicity breeds focus. Complexity breeds confusion. The mind, constantly bombarded with information, longs for simplicity. These 3 words act as a compass in a storm. Whenever life feels overwhelming, whenever fear or doubt cloud your judgment, just remember: observe, accept, release, repeat. You may also notice that these words are interdependent. Observation without acceptance leads to judgment. Acceptance without release leads to stagnation. Release without observation leads to oblivion. Together, they create a harmony, like the 3 strings of a perfectly tuned instrument, each enhancing the others, creating a melody that resonates through your soul. Now imagine applying this in daily life. You wake up to a chaotic morning: spilled coffee, traffic, missed calls. You observe. Here is frustration. Here is impatience. You accept. This morning is as it is. It cannot be otherwise. You release. I will not let these minor disturbances control my day. Suddenly, the morning loses its power to disturb you. Your energy is preserved, your mind is clear, and your actions are deliberate, rather than reactive. Or consider a more profound challenge: loss, heartbreak, failure. Without denying your pain, release allows you to step forward, carrying lessons rather than baggage, and to open space for new possibilities, for growth, for love. This formula also transforms the way you perceive others. When someone acts from anger, cruelty, or ignorance, observing their behavior without immediate judgment allows empathy to arise. Accepting them as they are does not condone wrongdoing, but it recognizes human imperfection. Releasing your need to control them or retaliate liberates both them and you. Imagine the peace in that liberation, the freedom from carrying grudges, from reacting impulsively, from being entangled in negativity. It is a quiet power, subtle yet profound. There's another layer to this formula, one that is rarely spoken aloud. Observation, acceptance, and release do not only apply to external circumstances. They apply to your inner self. Observe your beliefs, your biases, your habits. Accept the parts of yourself you dislike, without judgment, without self-hate. Release what no longer aligns with your higher purpose. Life is not about perfection. It is about evolution, about conscious growth. And in this growth, you discover a truth that monks have known for centuries. The world outside is often uncontrollable, but the world inside is yours to shape. The 3 words become not just a tool for coping, but a guide for creation. They remind you that happiness is not found in circumstances, but in your response to them. They remind you that freedom is not in escaping life, but in embracing it fully, with clarity and grace. And here's the twist. Most people search for life-changing formulas in books, seminars, or overnight strategies, yet the power has always been within them. Observe, accept, release. No grand ceremonies, no rituals, no complicated steps. Just 3 words. Practice daily, they shape character. Practice consistently, they shape destiny. Let me leave you with a visualization. Picture yourself at the summit of a mountain at dawn. The sky painted in hues of gold and rose, the air crisp, the horizon stretching infinitely. Each breath you take is an exercise in observation. Each heartbeat a lesson in acceptance. Each exhale a release of what no longer serves you. You feel weightless, unburdened, fully present. That is the life these 3 words promise, not a life without challenges, but a life where challenges no longer dominate your inner world. This is the monk's secret, and now it is yours. Practice it with patience, with persistence, with awareness. Let the mantra echo silently in your mind whenever you feel lost, whenever you feel overwhelmed, whenever life seems too much. Observe, accept, release. And finally, let it be a conversation. Reflect. Share your experiences. Notice the changes, no matter how subtle. Life is an ongoing dialogue, and these words are the language of clarity and freedom. Imagine the ripple effect, not just within you, but radiating outward, affecting those around you, transforming the energy of your interactions, the quality of your relationships, the depth of your understanding. You begin to notice subtleties you missed before, the way sunlight plays on leaves, the texture of a friend's laughter, the quiet power in a moment of silence. You begin to act from awareness rather than reaction, from wisdom rather than impulse. This is the transformation waiting for you. Observe, accept, release. Let these words guide you through the storm, through uncertainty, through fear, and into the calm, radiant clarity of a life truly lived. You do not need to wait for a sign, for permission, or for the perfect moment. The moment is now. The 3 words are here. They are free, they are simple, yet they are profound beyond measure. As you step into each day, carry them with you. Whisper them silently when challenges arise. Write them, meditate on them, breathe them into your being. Watch how the world responds, not by changing magically, but by revealing truths you had always overlooked, by showing pathways you had always ignored, by allowing you to walk with peace in a chaotic world. This is not theory, it is practice. It is lived experience, and it begins with a single choice: to observe, to accept, and to release. When you embrace this formula, you embrace life not as something to endure, but as something to participate in fully, consciously, and beautifully. So today, start with 3 words. Let them guide your thoughts, your emotions, your actions. Let them become the compass that steers you through uncertainty, the lantern that lights your path through darkness, and the gentle hand that steadies you when life threatens to overwhelm. Observe, accept, release. 3 words. 1 life, endless transformation. And if this message resonates, if you feel a spark of insight or a flicker of clarity, I invite you to share your journey in the comments below. Like this video if it illuminated something in your mind. Subscribe to Echoes of Greatness for more wisdom that empowers, enlightens, and transforms. Let's continue this journey together. Step by step, breath by breath, word by word. Life is waiting. The 3 words are waiting. Your transformation begins now.